Welcome to Beating Cancer Daily. Beating stage 4 cancer for 30 years still takes my breath away every time I say it. I'm Saranne, founder of the Comedy Cures Foundation, and I hope you'll join me for just a few minutes daily for the next 365 days so we may laugh, learn, maybe cry a little as we live our best days beating cancer daily together. Did you ever have to break up with your doctor? Did you just do it, or was it a long time ago? Or do you have to do it and you don't know how to do it? Well, I've had to break up with my doctor, and I just felt like we should talk about it because if you're hesitant to do it and you need to do it, we should just talk about steps to make it easier. If you need to do it, you gotta do it. So I wanted to talk about how and why some people, including me, have had to break up with their doctor. Now, I've actually dated doctors, and I think that breaking up with the doctor romantically is way easier versus a doctor who's handling my medical care, particularly cancer care, because it's complicated. But let's talk about reasons why you might want to break up with your doctor. Now, of course, I have humor about it. So if you have a doctor who's come to you and said that he fixed your bone with Photoshop, you want to break up with that doctor. If you've asked your doctor for a second opinion and he said, you're ugly too, you want to break up with that doctor. All right, enough with the comedy. Actually, these are variations on jokes that are online. I just thought it would be fun. Now, I've left a doctor because the person was super famous and they were more interested in listening to themselves than listening to what I had going on. And what I had going on was a lot of cancer that was not responding to treatment. I left because that person just did not hear me. I left an endocrinologist because they made a life-threatening error. I left another doctor because they didn't take my insurance, and another one because they were just too far and I had to take off more than a half a day of work just to go to and from that appointment. So those are all valid reasons, but there are even more. If you suspect that your doctor is abusing drugs and alcohol and is not having good judgment because of that, you gotta go. If they're not keeping up with medical advances, that's a really good reason to go, especially if you have cancer. Abusive language, physically inappropriate, arrogant. I think they call that like a God complex when the doctor is just so arrogant. Doesn't allow you to ask questions or understand why recommended treatments are important and why you should or shouldn't do other treatments. If it's his or her way or the highway, then that's probably a good reason to leave. If they just make you wait and don't respect your time, and they make you wait for so long and then spend 5 minutes with you, it's probably a good reason to leave. Now, we know that the medical systems are overburdened and they often do make you wait. But once you get in there, you should have time. And if you don't, that's unacceptable. If the fees are just too high, they don't take your insurance, and that's going to put you into debt, it's probably a good reason to leave. If the medical office is just so mismanaged and there's so many medical errors in the front office and in the back office too, it's probably a good reason to leave. We need our records. We need our records kept really well because you never know how many other doctors are going to have to rely on them to make other treatment plans. So how do you do it? I just feel like we should always be professional. Even if they're not, don't stoop to that level. Just say thank you. You can or don't have to state why you're leaving. But if you do it respectfully but really ask them to forward your records. Now, it is so important that they forward your records. If you can walk away with a copy of them, that's even better. If they won't give you a copy of them, try to give them a USB, some form of way to get a digital copy of them yourself. But if they won't do that, then have another doctor that they can get forwarded to. I made a joke in the beginning, but I would never leave a doctor without being in another doctor's practice, because if God forbid something goes wrong in between the transfer while you're waiting for a new doctor, it's very difficult. So if you think you're going to leave and you feel safe in the interim, if you don't feel safe in the interim, then you have to leave. But if you feel safe, then get the referrals, and I'll talk about how we can do that, but get the referral. Make sure that you're accepted by that practice. They take your insurance, or if you're going to pay out of pocket, that you can be in the practice. Some practices are so overcommitted that they're not even taking new patients. So make sure you are going into a new practice before you leave the old doctor. How do you get a referral? You ask any other medical professional that you're dealing with, do they have a recommended professional? And then, of course, ask family, friends, neighbors, colleagues, anybody that may have tried a doctor in that field. Hopefully, they'll have somebody that they have something to say positive about. Once you get those names, I would look online at ratings. I would see if they take your insurance. Just call the office and see if they take it. I'd listen to videos if they've done any videos or they've been guests on podcasts. See if you like their communication style. Is this someone that you could share, your medical secrets with? Do you feel comfortable with them? I have kept a doctor who had terrible bedside manner. If you don't have that expression in your language, it means that they didn't really know how to treat a patient well interpersonally, but they were a brilliant doctor, brilliant at making a diagnosis, brilliant at treatment plans. It's just their communication skills weren't 100%. I've kept a doctor like that because I really wanted a brilliant mind on the case. It's not always easy to find someone that has a great bedside manner and is brilliant at what they do, but I went for the more brilliant one at the time. So I want to leave with a little humor because this topic was a bit serious, and I found a couple more jokes that made me laugh about the topic. So it's time to leave your doctor if she tells you your results are terrible, but the good news is that you're not a hypochondriac. That's a cartoon by Fran, and I just thought that was super cute. But what it got me thinking about was that song, 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. Do you remember that song? Oh my gosh, I really can't sing, but I think the chorus is super funny. You just slip out the back, Jack. You make a new plan, Stan. You don't need to be coy, Roy. Just get yourself free. Hop on the bus, Gus. You don't need to discuss much. Just drop off the key, Lee, and get yourself free. That was a terrible rendition of singing that song, but it made me laugh so hard because we need to rewrite that chorus about leaving your doctor. That would be the funniest parody. And I didn't have time to rewrite the whole thing today, but if you come up with some good lines for it, you definitely have to send it to me. You go to comedycures.org and hit the record button, and you could sing it to me through the podcast section, or just go to the contact menu and then you can write the lyrics to me. Oh my gosh, please don't hold it against me that I cannot sing. I I hope you have a blessed day and that all your doctors are fabulous and you never have to break up with one. But if you do, you can listen back to this podcast. If you loved today's episode, then tell the world. Why? Because Beating Cancer Daily is a listener and donor supported experience. So the more people you tell and the more people that join us, the more robust and interesting programs our nonprofit, the Comedy Cures Foundation, can bring to you throughout the year. So if you have some extra change, I'd love you to go to comedycures.org and make a donation today of whatever level is comfortable for you. And it will be tax deductible to the extent allowed by law, because Comedy Cures is a nonprofit 501c3 organization founded from my chemo chair, April 1999, and we've been going strong ever since. So please consider making a donation today and help our community and this podcast thrive. Guess what time it is? It's time for me to read the disclaimer. Beating Cancer Daily and the membership circle are not in lieu of medical advice or treatment. They are for entertainment purposes only. Please consult your healthcare team to review your best strategy. Thanks for listening. See you guys tomorrow.